The book of Genesis is a science textbook. The world is only 6,000 years old. Dinosaur bones are actually something that God planted in the earth to mislead unbelievers. Are any of these things true? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I love that St. John Paul II, in the opening chapters of the Theology of the Body, focuses and spends a long time on those first few chapters of the book of Genesis, which speak of the creation of the world and the creation of humanity, male and female, in God's image and likeness. And as he does so, he sheds some light on how we should approach the book of Genesis. First and foremost, not as a science textbook, because the book of Genesis is not trying to solve scientific questions or answer scientific questions. It's answering even more deep and profound questions, not about how we came about, but why we came about, why we exist. We exist because God loves us and has created us out of love and for love. Genesis is also written as a profound meditation on the human condition, that we live in a world that is fractured. We live in a place where we are divided from God and divided from one another. And Genesis answers the questions of how that came about. So what we can do to overcome it by growing in a relationship, a covenant relationship with God. So while a science textbook would focus on the evolutionary process and on dinosaurs and all the things that came on this earth before we even got here, the book of Genesis really focuses on the start of the human story, because that's when our relationship with God began. And so it focuses on our creation, our fall, the temptations that we face, the way that God desires to redeem and save and heal us and draw us into a relationship with himself. So no, God didn't place dinosaur bones in the earth to mislead non-believers. No, Earth is not even 6,000 years old, because science shows us that it's older than that. But the truth of Genesis is that this earth and everything on and everything we see was created by a good and loving God, was created with a purpose. We are called to live that purpose and recognize that we have been made for glory.